A recent front-page story in the New York Times reported on the alleged rise of atheism in America.
No God needed. That's the message going up along Houston freeways next week.
I think people need to know that there are other options out there, especially if they're not religious.
When it comes to bullshit, big-time, major league bullshit, you have to stand in awe. In awe of the all-time champion of false promises and exaggerated claims, religion. No contest. No contest. Religion easily has the greatest bullshit story ever told. Think about it. Religion has actually convinced people that there's an invisible man living in the sky, who watches everything you do every minute of every day. And the invisible man has a special list of 10 things he does not want you to do. And if you do any of these 10 things, he has a special place full of fire and smoke and burning and torture and anguish, where he will send you to live and suffer and burn and choke and scream and cry forever and ever till the end of time. But he loves you.
Here's a list of the things in the past that the physicists at the time didn't understand. And a talk show you might have conducted 200 years ago would have said, the planets do retrograde? Can't understand that, must be a god. And we'd say, you know, you're right. And then 10 years later we understand it, so what do you do? So if that's how you want to invoke your evidence for God, then God is an ever receding pocket of scientific ignorance that's getting smaller and smaller and smaller as time moves on.
It's delusional thinking. It's delusional thinking, and Americans are not alone with these sort of delusions. Military cemeteries around the world are packed with brainwashed, dead soldiers who are convinced God was on their side. America prays for God to destroy our enemies. Our enemies pray for God to destroy us. Somebody's going to be disappointed. Somebody's wasting their fucking time. Could it be everyone?
That's why they always say, God bless America. Because the world's billions of years old, and America's 250 years old. And that's when God decided to choose a team.
And so, in any case, why does belief matter? Shouldn't it matter more how you comport yourself in life and how you treat other people?
How much more of this are we going to put up with? That people will come and say, we insist on teaching pseudoscience to your children in American schools with taxpayers' money. What is this? Children, the astronomy class is over. Can you now get ready for the astrology period? They want equal time? They don't want equal time. They want a dictatorship of pseudoscience and garbage.
There's nothing wrong with those particular commandments, if you call them, but let's look at what they don't do. They don't stop slavery, there's no mention of it, and they kept slaves. So, hello, what a perfect society they had because of their 10 commandments. What did God forget? The 10 commandments are the hysterical believings of a group of desert tribes. Those desert tribes have stored up more misery for mankind than any other group of people in the history of the planet, and they're doing it to this day.
One thing that I think is really dangerous in many religions is that it gives people a gold-plated excuse to stop thinking.
To stop thinking?
To stop thinking. To say, I don't have to think about that because my religion says this is right, this is wrong, it's as clear as that, it's black and white, I don't have to think about this anymore. It's just a matter of faith. Ooh. And we honor that. We say, oh, it's a matter of faith. I think we have to stop honoring people for stopping thinking.
Religion is our first. That's why I'm so fascinated with it. It's our first version of the truth. It's our first attempt as a species. It's what we tried when we didn't know anything. It's also our first attempt at philosophy, our first attempt at morality, our first attempt at healthcare, actually, but because it was our first, it is our worst.